The United States launched a major military strike in Iran, an operation so sensitive that only a handful of people knew it would happen ahead of time. But before Congress was even briefed, right wing influencers were notifying their audiences that the strikes were coming. And on top of that, anonymous crypto bettors were placing massive bets on when the bombs would drop and turning tens of thousands of dollars into hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. Today, we need to talk about something that should terrify everybody in the country. Did people connected to the Trump administration profit from this war? Because the evidence piling up is deeply disturbing. Let's start with the media leaks. According to Media Matters, multiple right wing media figures appear to have advanced knowledge of the Trump administration's military action in Iran. These weren't journalists, these weren't congressional oversight committees, it was political influencers. For example, MAGA influencer Benny Johnson told his audience days before the strike that the United States was heading to war with Iran. Johnson later admitted he had been speaking with top level administrative officials. Now, in contrast to Benny Johnson, political influencer, Senator John Cornyn, who is in Texas, who sits on both the Senate committees on intelligence and foreign relations, told reporters on February 28th that he was learning, like you are, as the news unfolds exactly what's happening. The Trump administration reportedly briefed some congressional staff the following day with a full briefing to Congress scheduled for March 3rd. Newsmax host Kelly was even more precise. A very well-informed person told me the attack on Iran would happen Friday after Wall Street closes, Kelly said February 26th. Fox News host Brian Kilmeade admitted that he attended briefings with high-level officials. Fox contributor and retired general Jack Keane openly said he had insight into the military planning. And here's the most wild part of all of this. So, as we're seeing all of these influencers get high level classified information, US senators are reportedly being blocked from learning what's happening, even those that are Republican and on the Senate Intelligence and Foreign Relations committees. So, the people constitutionally responsible for war powers oversight and the ones that are actually supposed to declare war are being held in the dark, while partisan media personalities are getting the full inside scoop. And arguably, what's even more dark, at the same time that these media leaks were happening, massive amounts of money began flowing on Kalshi, Polymarket, and other online gambling sites, essentially where people bet on global and political events. On platforms like Kalshi, users can place wagers on things like elections, political outcomes, and now apparently war. In the days leading up to the US strike in Iran, prediction markets exploded with activity. More than $500 million was traded on bets about when the attack would actually happen. This article from Bloomberg, titled Polymarket and Kalshi's Iran War Wagers Are Ghoulish and Troubling, and it explains it in extended detail. Prediction markets already face questions about their propriety after a string of dubious trades attracted public scrutiny in recent months. Kalshi Inc. and Polymarket should just stop offering wagers on anything related to war, military operations, or regime change. Shockingly, Polymarket also hosts trades on whether a nuclear bomb will be detonated in Ukraine this year. Prediction markets already face questions about their propriety after a string of dubious trades attracted public scrutiny in recent months. Kalshi Inc. and Polymarket should just stop offering wagers or anything related to war, military operations, or regime change. Shockingly, Polymarket also hosts trades on whether a nuclear bomb will be detonated in Ukraine this year. Legitimate needs to hedge financial or commodity risks are already well served by existing futures and options markets. No one needs these Wild West binary bets. Suspicions about insider trading on the big prediction markets have grown almost as rapidly as their trading volumes. In January, a new account on Polymarket won more than $400,000, forecasting America's out of the blue raid on Venezuela and capture of its president, Nicolas Maduro. That followed several other dubious looking trades on a wide variety of events where someone could know the outcome before it was public. One anonymous Polymarket user is named MAGA My Men placed a massive bet that the strike would happen immediately before it did. And here's the detail that lawmakers are demanding deserves an investigation. The bet was placed 71 minutes before the news broke publicly. At that time, the market only believed there's a 17% chance of an attack happening that soon. That account bet $87,000, and overnight, it turned into $515,000, a $500,000 in a single night from betting on war. That's money than most people will see in their entire lifetime. and it's from betting on death and destruction. Congressman Mike Levin flagged the account publicly and demanded answers, saying prediction markets cannot become vehicles from profiting from advanced knowledge of military strikes. And this wasn't just one lucky bet. Investigators show multiple newly created accounts placed extremely well timed wagers in the hours before the attack, collectively earning hundreds of thousands of dollars. The congressman went on to call out the business relationship between President Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., and Polymarket. Reminder that Donald Trump Jr. sits on Polymarket's advisory board, and his firm invested double digit millions into the platform last year, Levin wrote. The DOJ and CFTC both had active investigations into Polymarket that were dropped after Trump took office. Some researchers are saying as many as 6 accounts collectively made about $1.2 million on the strike. And that raises a chilling possibility that people within the administration are using insider information in order to make millions. So, what does Polymarket have to say about all this? Well, they're not apologizing. In fact, they're defending themselves. The company claims that prediction markets are an invaluable way to understand world events, basically saying that you have a better chance of knowing what's happening in the world by looking at betting markets than you do looking at legacy media, which is just either a complete lie or it is the worst dystopia imaginable. We don't get transparency or the truth from elected officials. We have to look at how much they're profiting off making gambling decisions based on their own insider information. Like, do we not understand how dystopian that is? And when the prediction is on when we're going to bomb a country or when someone's going to die by X date, that is not forecasting. That is profiting off of violence. Even some regulators warn betting markets tied to war and death could create dangerous incentives and allow insiders to monetize classified information. We're seeing the same pattern happen for multiple different events. These are anonymous accounts making very well timed bets minutes sometimes before geopolitical events happen and reaping in massive profits. This is unjustifiable in any society. The United States cannot survive as a country if we have a president and his family who are investing millions of dollars into prediction markets that incentivize these government leaks. They don't care about getting the information out to the public. We've known since day one. They care about their profits way more than they care about you or any working class American. War is supposed to be one of the most serious decisions that a government can make. It is not supposed to be a trading opportunity. And we're seeing in real time that that is exactly what is happening.